What's up, YouTube? Stone Paxton here. Yeah. The Akai MPCXSE. I'm back again. And you know what? I had to do this video again because there's some things that I want to go back and kind of correct myself on. Okay. Number one, anybody that knows me, I've been in the music industry for many, many years. I've been in the music industry since the 80s. I was with a group called Trey. We were managed by Dick Scott Entertainment. And that was years ago. That was the 80s. They managed Dougie Fresh, Brenda K-Star, New Kids on the Block, and the list goes on. So my history goes all the way back. I was also signed to Grand Jury Entertainment, which the CEO is Michael Concepcion. And I worked on various projects, being with Grand Jury Entertainment. I've produced and written and worked for a lot of industry heavyweights. I had to get on here, man. I had to be fair about, because I've been just seeing this whole MPCXSE has ignited the fire in a lot of people, right? And, you know, EA Ski said something deep. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I watched his video he just posted. And I'm going to speak on this. This is outside of the Akai MPCXSE. He talked about his history in the industry, and I can relate to that with him. So I have to, I'm going to have to jump on board with that conversation of him talking about a lot of these content creators having a conversation about production and paying their dues and having a history, a background with music. And when he said that, it touched something inside of my spirit, because for so long when I'm on here on YouTube, I see a lot of content creators, and I agree with him. They get a channel, and then cats be thinking they a superstar because they done got some views. But then you got guys like EA Ski, myself, and some other producers behind the scenes who are really putting in that work, cutting records, producing records, and not just now, currently, because EA Ski been doing records since the 80s and 90s, like me. I got a history. Everybody in the music industry know me. Everybody in the music industry knows him. I have to give him his respect, because you guys got to understand. Let's get off the Sonics part, and I'll get on the Sonics situation anyway with these machines. I'm going to talk about that again, but let's get to the logistics of what Akai is. The MPC, anyway, is a machine that, a sequencer, let's go deeper, a sequencer that allows us to be able to sequence music with a special kind of feel. EA Ski has put in work, and for those of you that might think I jumped on here and I'm defending him now, I'm talking about a producer, from one producer to another producer, giving him his respect, because I like people to give me my respect. And I've always said to myself and to a lot of people, these content creators, not all of them, I'm going to keep it 100. I'm not going to, I'm only speaking to the ones that feel like they need to be spoken to. And those, they'll know who they are. But nothing beats history. Nothing beats history. It doesn't matter how many new content creators come up on YouTube. Most of you guys weren't even born when this MPC 3000 came out. That I know for a fact. I'm 53 years old, and I know EA Ski has got to be in his 50s too. You know what I'm saying? So the real part is, I know I look young, I have history. I've been producing in this industry and writing and signed to deals for many, many, many years. Behind the scenes, working on records you probably never even knew I worked on. Working with some of the biggest artists, being signed to some of the biggest management companies and record companies. But, you know, EA Ski has paid his dues, man. I've paid my dues. There's a lot of great guys on here. All blessings to all content creators, but there's a lot of great guys here on YouTube. But the reality is, if you're speaking from the new content creators that have just saw an opportunity to jump on YouTube buy an MPC and then jump on YouTube and throw it on there and like, boom, boy, I'm a content creator. Yo, I know about MPCs. I know about production and sonics, or I know this and that. And you don't have really the history. All your history comes from you pulling up Google or looking at another person's YouTube. It's not from being in the trenches. Mpxone has been in the trenches. I've been in the trenches. So it struck a note when he talked about, when he started talking about his history, which I know his history. And I struck a note because this is one subject conversation I have with a lot of younger producers who just think when they get the machine or the MPC, they're on the same level as a Jermaine Dupri or Rodney Jerkins or, you know, any top producer. They just think they're there, or they're using copy and paste situations and they figure they're a dope producer. But it's more to producing records than just having these machines, man. You got to pay your dues, man. That's really only one way to it, to really get the knowledge and experience, to have a conversation and speak with confidence and reverence, you know what I'm saying? And speak with that level of, I know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? Excuse my language. But I have to give, from one producer who's been in the music industry since the 80s, and I'm an artist too, not just producer, I have to give him his respect, because in reality, it's the truth, man. Like, he can speak on this. I can speak on this. Most of the YouTube creators that I've seen creating videos, no offense, except for a few, don't really even have the experience of cutting records on these machines. Haven't placed a record on nobody record album with these machines. Barely placed any placements on an album with their own stuff with these machines. So nothing begets history but the history of being in the trenches, producing the records. And we're not talking about now, because you can never take away being a producer from the 80s up to now. Unless you've been there, you're never going to be able to live that part of it. It's over with. You can live this part of it, and then you'll be the OG the next 10, 20 years. They'll be calling you OG if you can make a mark in the music industry and you can really get in there and do something that's historical. I'm a former member of the Rick James Stone City Band. I'm a member of Troop Reloaded. If you know who Troop is, go look up Troop. You might have seen me in the Unsung with Troop. You might have seen me on stage with the Rick James Stone City Band. So I have a history. I done produced on tons of records. I work with, I'm not going to get into people I work with, but I work with a lot of people. Some, you can Google, see me working with them. Some you can look on YouTube. Sometimes I'll post some people I'm working with, but I've written and produced a lot of records for a lot of heavyweights, as well as working for Grand Jury Entertainment, which is one of the biggest production companies in the music industry, who brought you Kirk Franklin, Blackstreet, Teddy Riley, and I keep going on with all the projects. Tales from the Hood. But Mpxone has a point. He's speaking from his historical experience, and you can't take that away from him, you guys. Nor can you take that away from me. This is why I always tell people, nor can you take that away from any other producer who's been in the trenches. Unless you've been in the trenches, your conversation is not going to be the same way to my young G's. There's a lot of young G's, and it's weird because when I created my YouTube page, there's so many new MPC creators. I mean, they have channels now that I'm like, damn, that's a new one here, it's a new one. So, but I've not yet seen anybody dropping any records. Everybody's on here want to give you the specs of this and that, but these machines are made to make records. I don't see anybody making records. Another thing I want to correct is, I got on the video earlier and I was talking about sonics don't matter. And I think I was going through a lot when I laid that video, because I was dealing with a lot of business. And I will say sonics do matter. It does matter. And it is a very important part of my records. And if you listen to any of my records, I promise you'll understand the sonics is on point. Everything I do. But sonics do matter. So I'm correcting what I didn't say in the first video. I should have said that, but I think I was in a rush, like I said, and it just came out whatever way. But sonics do matter. They do matter. Now, I'm not going to get into the politic of this machine versus that machine, because honestly, I can make this machine sound whatever way I want. But do sonics matter? Absolutely. You can't have a great record without great sonics. So that shit does matter. So I corrected myself in the first video. But I will say, instead of us fighting over the sonics, and I'll say that again, when you let the record speak, Mpxone lets his music speak. Jermaine Dupri lets his music speak. Any other producer here on YouTube that has great records or put records out, if their sonics are great, they're letting the music speak because they know that they want to be known from the quality of the records, okay? So sonics do matter. They matter to me 100%. Once again, I'll leave links to some of my music. You can go click it and listen to it. The sonics in my records matter. But I have to agree with Mpxone because I do feel like there's a lot of content creators, and honestly, probably about 90% of the content creators ain't dropping or not dropping records. It's the truth. They're not dropping records. The records are not charting. They ain't got no records that went platinum or gold, hit Billboard or hit iTunes Top 100. I've had a lot of records chart. I've had a lot of records hit iTunes Top 100, Top 5, Billboard, Top 20. I'm looking at plaques on my wall back there, but I ain't got no point to prove. I'm just giving you the logistics, right? I have to say that I agree with him 100% when it comes to that. I'm not talking about nothing else besides that and the sonics. He's correct. He's earned the right to say what the French fry he wants to say, right? But, and you guys can't take that away from him, nor can you take that away from me. Me, I'm just kind of like, you know, I'll say things. I'm not trying to cause no controversy. I'm just keeping it 100 with the community here. And it's just good to see a lot of new young, I will say this. It's good to see a lot of new young people jumping on the MPC because now you're understanding what guys like myself and Mpxone and Jermaine Dupri and other cats have been through as producers. And there's some other producers I wanted to mention off of YouTube, and you guys forgive me. Next video, I'll talk about them. I'm still waiting for my machine to come. Let's make great records, you guys. I mean, this battle of opinion can go on forever. It's like religion or anything else. It can go on, or you know, men talking about what's the best engine. But we're talking about music, and make that machine talk. For all the people that have the MPCs, it should be more people dropping records. It should be more people with records that are charting. Billboard, iTunes Top 100, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Platinum or gold. That's what matters. When you could take these machines and you're getting that sort of action, it says that you're using the machine on a whole nother level. And you're taking it and using it for what it's supposed to be used for. So I have 38 years in the music industry, a little bit longer than that. And my history is long. I don't brag about myself. I work with some great people. What I will tell you is I did the Mila J, Welcome to the West. I'll leave the link in the bottom of here too. And I did it on the MPC1. And I produced that record. Battle Cat did the vocoder. LD Barges on the chorus. And it's a great record. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but great response from tons of industry producers who have heard that record. Okay? My boy Rufus Black, Mad Lion wrote it. And we all collectively came together and presented that record as a company through Lion Pride Records, the label that Mila J is on. But I produced it on the Akai MPC, okay, MPC1. And the sonics on it is ridiculous. Mixed by Tech Orion. And usually I mix most of my records. That one I didn't. I love Tech Orion's mixes. But listen, man. Hey, man. Mpxone was right with what he said with this last video with talking about his history and some of the things about certain people on YouTube who really, cats shouldn't be really talking about cats, man. We should just be making great music, man. Because at the end of the day, if you're not putting out as many records as cats that have that history, you shouldn't have nothing to say. If you don't have any records that have charted and went platinum or hit Billboard or iTunes Top 100, you really shouldn't have nothing to say. You're just a hobbyist on the real. I'm just saying. I'm not naming no names. I'm saying, here's a reality. You're a hobbyist. If you're not dropping records or producing records on any artists that are coming out, hell, it doesn't matter if they're independent or major, but if it's not coming out and you're not getting no action, you're not making no historical pivotal moments to where it's charting, you're a hobbyist. You're still trying to be in the music industry. You're not quite in the industry. And you can take that whatever way you want, but you're a hobbyist. So I've been in this game. You know, a lot of people know me, heavyweights. So I have no point to prove. EA Ski has no point to prove. And we can keep naming others that have no point to prove. You know, even the gentleman Bolo, he knows. He's been in the trenches. He's produced records. He's gotten placements. He knows. He's been in the game. Which, by the way, that's a gentleman right there. I like that brother. He's a solid cat, man. And it's another cat, too. My brother, I can't remember your name. Forgive me. You hit me up once on Facebook. We chopped it up. And dang, I'm upset. Forgive me. Next video, I'll mention your name. But he's a good cat, man. I remember when he first started his YouTube channel with Akai. And I really like this cat because he also does in detail tutorials about it, the machines and stuff. Me, I don't really get too deep into tutorials because I'm a producer. So I like focusing on the production of the beats and because I'm dropping records. You know what I'm saying? So I'm focusing on that, and I'm constantly producing records on artists, major, independent, and making moves, you know, films, movies, records, and other things. Let's make some records, you guys. That's, you know, and here's the thing. For everybody talking, that means that before this year is over, everybody on here making a big deal about these records, we should see some records dropping this year and charting. So I'm gonna make a challenge for everybody on here that's talking about, have opinions about the Akai MPC. Let's see how many people can drop some records before this year is over. Let's see 10 singles. Let's see 2 albums before the year is over. Better yet, no. 1 album, 4 singles. 1 album, 4 banging singles that chart on either Billboard or iTunes Top 100. That's my challenge to everybody on the Akai MPC right now who's on here, who believe that they have an opinion about a machine they're just learning and they weren't even born when the machine was even come out, most of y'all. I challenge you guys to drop some dope records and let's see those records chart. And then, yeah, tag me in it. Post it in my timeline of this video when it does chart. Independently, by the way. I'm not talking about the major artists who have the budgets. I'm talking about straight independent because all my records chart independently. So let's see. And it's not easy. So let's see. I challenge all these opinionated producers to drop some records. Once again, 4 singles, 1 album before this year is over. And then go back to this video and post your chart position in this video. Prove me wrong. Because honestly, these machines are for making records. So let's make records. Stone Paxton, I'm out. Listen, my machine should be on the way. I'm going to be doing another video when I get my machine. Love and respect to all the producers that are changing the music industry 1 record at a time by dropping records and really not talking about it, but being about it. Peace and blessings, you guys. Stone Paxton, once again. Stone Paxton, MPC connoisseur. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks to those that have made comments on the first video. Those that made negative comments, understand. If you post any negative comments, they will not get approved. So if you come on my page with all that your boy shit, it's not going to be approved. I'm sorry. I don't play that. I'm 53 years old. I don't play all that extra young shit. So you get on my YouTube page with respect. And you're going to get that same thing back. You get on there saying negative, it's not going to get approved. So your opinion's not even going to matter. Nobody's going to see it. Peace and love. Stone Paxton, MPC connoisseur. And I'm out, you guys.